Hello again and welcome to a new video. This is our May 2019 BMW X3 M40i automatic. The car is finished in Sophistico grey metallic, which is a bit darker than the mineral grey with a lot more sparkle in the metallic. The car has covered 32,878 miles with full service history, which we'll take you through when we go in the car. And the last owners had the car since the end of June 2020, and they've recently changed to a company car. So the whole car has been machine polished and detailed to a really high level, as all the cars are at Prestige Diesels and Sports. And we're going to start off at the front. We're going to show you all the paintwork. You can see already that really nice glossy shine that we've got on the vehicle. We've got these really nice adaptive icon LED lights at the front with high beam assist. We're coming down a little bit lower. You can see that all the paintwork on the front bumper is in really nice condition. We've got these black gloss trims around the fog lights there, and also in the center there where the parking sensor is. And then the grills and the mirrors they're not really silver, it's like a titanium finish, as are the two trims around the fog lights as well. So a really nice combination. It all matches up with the wheels as well. I'm just going to bring you in and show you these headlights. So what these headlights will do when you put them on adaptive is that there's a camera up on the windscreen in the center. Well, there's two cameras, in fact, on this one, just up at the top there. And they will basically sensor the light that's coming into them and direct the headlights around the oncoming vehicle that's coming towards you, so that basically you're lighting up the road as much as possible without blinding the other driver. And then the high beam assist will automatically dip the will dip the headlights. You have to excuse me today, I'm full of cold, so I'm finding it a little bit more difficult. And then we've got these really nice grills at the front, and if you've ever wondered, they've got little shields behind them, so when you start up from cold, the engine warms up quicker and then they open up to cool. They're just in the back there. If we come up onto the bonnet, I just want to show you how nice and clean the bonnet is. There's not really any chipping. There's probably a couple of tiny little dots, but nothing of any substance. It really is in lovely condition. I'll just bring you up to the top there. If I come in a bit closer, as I come across, you can see the paintwork, see the reflection of the light above, but there's nothing nasty on there. And also the windscreen's in really nice condition, and there's no chipping at the top there. So that's the adaptive lights that we just spoke about. We've got parking sensors on the side here because it's got the park assist. So this car will self-park for you as well. We'll just come back out. So it's got the titanium 21-inch, or titanium-looking 21-inch wheels. They're the 718M design by BMW. I was just checking that on the paperwork. Worth pointing out that all the spec on the car, we check through it. We've got a printout here of everything on the car, so it is accurate. And if we come in close, in fact, let's start at the front. I'll show you this front wheel. So there's a really good set of Bridgestone tyres on the car. They've all got about 6mm of tread. You can see those lovely big M Sport brakes there. So a bigger caliper, bigger pad, slightly bigger disc, and you get much stronger braking. So all in lovely condition there. If we come down the side of the car, I'll show you this rear wheel. As you can see, all in really nice condition. And the blue caliper there, and then we've got that parking sensor on the side there, which is to help with the park assist. And what I like to do is come down low and look down the side of the car, and you can see that it's got a lovely glossy shine, all in really nice condition. Both exhaust pipes at the rear and the rear bumper, all in really nice condition as well. No chip marks or anything. Show you a bit more of that in a minute. I'm going to come up onto the roof now. We've got the sun protection glass, got a bit of black gloss trim there as well. No bird dropping stains or anything. And then you can see that we've got the panoramic roof on this car. And you can have that in the tilt position as well. There's also a blind underneath. And then that's the colour of the wing mirrors to match the wheels and the grills. Again, no scuffing on there, no damage. We've also got lighting, and I will show you this in a little while, but just in here, in that little tunnel there, there's a light, and it sort of shines down onto the floor. And we will come back to that. All of the door edges, I've checked, there's no scratches or chipping. And the headlights, as I was saying, really nice condition. No marks, no nasty chips on them. And the fog lights, no scuff marks down here. And if we look down the side of the car again, really nice clean shine. Driver's side front wheel. Alenza Bridgestone tyres, which are the run flat tyres. I think they come from new with these tyres. And then that wing mirror, no scuffing on there. And these are all electric folding mirrors as well. I'll just bring you up onto the roof now, show you across the top here. And we've got what they call the shadow line black gloss finishes for the roof rails as well, to match with the trims around the windows. Let's just show you this rear wheel. So you can see now that all of the wheels and the tyres are in lovely condition, and they're not going to need changing for some time. They've got, like I say, plenty of tread on there, because a set of tyres will set you back, you know, close to £1,000. So if you're comparing cars, you really want to make sure you're not buying one with the tyres on the last few days, because it's going to cost you another £1,000 on top of the purchase price. So there we have it. I'll just show you down this door edge. Really nice and clean. And then all around the filler cap. And if we open up in there. And again, this car will run quite safely, obviously, on the E10 fuel, as you can see there, but it's even a bit more future-proof to E25 fuel that it will also run on. See that little sign at the top? Recommends Shell quality fuels, and that's because a lot of the supermarkets, the fuels don't have the same additives, particularly with diesels actually. You know, they don't have the cleaning additives in them, and they run a lot dirtier. The petrol is more to do with the octane and just keeping your engine running clean. You get better fuel economy. Just trying to concentrate here. That's a reflection, by the way. You see that? If I move like that, it almost looked like that piece of trim had a scratch all the way around it, but it's not. It's just a reflection. There's nothing on the vehicle like that. We've got rear camera up under there. Really nice LED lights, and like I say, right the way down and underneath there, all in really nice condition. So that's just, whoops, come back out again, show you around the vehicle. I can't move back too far because I've got vehicles behind me. Try and capture the vehicle from this angle. There we go. Now this vehicle has the M Sport Plus package, and what that will give you, is the adaptive M suspension. Now that's really important on these because the quality of the ride, there's a big difference between the ordinary M Sport shock absorber and the adaptive ones. It's a lot softer ride with the adaptive ones when in comfort and eco. Then when you put it into sport, it's a lot more, as it says, dynamic. It feels much more responsive in the handling of the car. So you get the best of both worlds. And it makes all the difference. I'll just come down and show you, got puddle lights underneath the doors. Now inside on this car, we have the Merino leather. So Merino leather is the top of the range leather for BMW. We've also got that black gloss trim running along the top there. And you can change all the lighting to different colours. The Harman Kardon sound system. And then going back to the Merino leather, so it's a much more softer and much better quality leather, whereas the I think it's called Sensatec, which is taken over from the Dakota leather or the Nevada leather, is a leather that they sort of press the pattern into it. It's like a processed leather, if you like. But this is like a leather jacket, like a nice hide, and it just feels different. It's amazing how different it feels to sit in a car with Merino than it does the standard leather. And you get this lovely pattern through the seats of the stitching there. And it just brings the interior up in the sense of class, and it just feels a little bit more special. We've got the electric seats there as well, and then we've got the bolster button, that little black one, which inflates the sides of the seats. We come up onto the dash. So this is also finished in, I think it's called Sensatac, which is I'm probably saying that wrong, but I'm full of cold. Excuse me. So it's not plastic basically. It just feels a little bit softer. I'm not too sure. I think it is one of their leathers, but you can check that online. But it just feels a lot nicer than plastic. We've got additional speakers up on the top there. We've got the heads-up display over there as well, which we'll come round to in a minute. You can just see the blue lighting in there. All the floor mats. All of the gloss black around the centre console, you'll notice, is not all scratchy. I mean, you will, under bright lights, see little hairline scratches, but we machine polish all of this on the inside as well to bring it as close back to new as you can. So I just come round, show you this side, and obviously got the pan roof up there. So all of the seats, no marks on there. Let's take a look in the back. And again, I've checked all these door cards. There's no damage on them. And there's no damage down this edge, which is where you need to check, because that's where they get damaged from the seat belts if they're jammed in the doors. You've got the lighting under there. And then if we look inside and down this shut, you can see there's no scratches. Because what happens sometimes is people get out, they leave the seatbelt there, and it gets shut into the door, and this all gets damaged, and the door card gets damaged as well. So put that back. If we look at the back of the front seats, again, there's not been anything in the back of the vehicle that has slid forward and damaged the back of the seats. All in really nice condition. And the mats there. If we look, we'll do the base first. We've got the Isofix. There's no heavy creasing or anything like that. And then we've got the center armrest with cup holders, center folding down headrests. All in lovely condition, and I've checked all the armrest and had it down, and it's all fine. And then down in the center, we've got climate control for the rear passengers. We haven't got the ignition on at the moment, but you can set digitally the temperature. So you've got your own climate in the back. If we come out of there, come around to the back of the car. Now, while we're here, we've also got, this car's come with the, get it around the right way, display key. So you can flip through the screens. It's due a service. It's just gone over by, I think it's a few days or something. So you can flip through to see, put your fan on. You can see the range of the fuel, if the lights are on, if it's locked or open. It'll even tell you, was it double click? Yeah, if the sunroof's open, which it is. So it's basically giving you information on there. And this charges up in the car. We'll open the boot with the key, the wireless charging. Now, just show you this before I roll it back in. No damage on that roller blind. You see that? All in lovely condition. And if I show you all up along the back here, and the reason I'm showing you this is sometimes people take these out the car, they get put in the garage, they get knocked over on the concrete, they get scuffed and they've got all scratches all over them. The back seats get put down and you know, people slide things in and they can rip them, but there's no damage. It's all in really nice condition. And then on the side here, we've got a, it's funny because the light is just like reflecting off of the pile as it's going in a different direction. That's not stains on there, it's just the way the pile is with the fluff catching the light. We've got a 12-volt socket there, and then we've got a cubby hole just here to get to the fuel. And then on this side, oops, we've got first aid in there as well. Oh, that's a reflection. And then all the carpet, show you that. I'll come back. Really nice condition. If we open this up, we've got the locking wheel nut in there, and then one of the parcel shelf, will actually sit in that trough. So if you need to take it out, you've actually got somewhere to put it. There's the locking wheel nut. And you've also got some storage further forward. So ample storage in there. I'll just bring you up onto the plastic trims on the tailgate. Again, all in really good condition. Nothing nasty up there. And if we come down to the bumper, just bring you in nice and close. You can see that sparkle in the paint there. No chips, no scratches. All in lovely condition. So we're going to press that button, close that down. Let's take a look round this side of the car. Again, starting with the door card. And I know these videos are quite long, but they're designed to enable you to see round the car very thoroughly. So if I bore you in one section, you only got to fast forward it onto the next bit. But the aim is to give you as much information about the car and the condition, because we work so hard to search for really nice stock. We're a small family-run business, and it's all about the vehicles and about making sure we've got beautifully presented vehicles here. All the carpets, and they're just the attention to detail is just that much more. All of the leather, door shuts. There we go. You've got this nice contrasting stitching along the top as well. Now, I'm not too sure if it does it on this one, But on some of the BMWs, I've noticed that when you've got the doors open, the lights on the side of the car, let's see if it does it on this one. I know on the 3 Series, the trim lights actually flash when you've got the door open. Maybe not on this model, or maybe because I haven't got it turned on. Let's just turn those lights off for a second. Right, driver door card. So being that the one that gets all the use, this is the one we'll have a good look at. Now you always get a few very mild little lines. Let me just put this paperwork down for a second. It's just where we jump in and out, but I think they're just, let's get this, there we go. There's no dig marks or anything. No scratches in the leather. Let me just come round. No stab marks from the seat belts or anything. And then all of the doors shut. There's no rub marks through the paint. Sometimes people got shingle driveways and the gritty stones rub on the edge there. Let's take you up around the door. As you can see, all the rubbers are really nice. There's no wear up there. And then all the carpets and the pedals. Sorry, this light interior plays havoc with the bright lights. There we go. You see how nice that is. All the pedals are lovely. Your electric seat, which is also memory. The memory settings are conveniently placed up on the door card here. So you don't have to put your hand down the side searching for them. And then we've got the electric folding anti-dazzle mirrors. You can also open the boot from here. And depending which side you leave the little sliding button for the left and right, the mirror will automatically dip on the passenger side. Now the driver's seat, as you can see, really nice condition. No wear on that bolster. Really, really lovely condition. Center armrest. And again, before I jump in, oh, the light. You see the black gloss, nice and clean. And then the steering wheel, and then the leather around the steering wheel. There's no dig marks in it. It's going a bit yellowy because of the different light in the car and the reflection, which you can't. And then you've got auto lights, park lights, fog lights. Whoa, not in focus. There we go. Little cubby hole under there to put things in. So let's jump in. Excuse me. Right, I think what we're gonna do is start her up. So keyless start. So service overdue. So that's addressed that straight away because it's only because it's gone a few days over. So we'll go into my vehicle. I say a few days, it might be a week or so. Let's take a look. So we're going into vehicle status. So we've got the temperature of the tyres and the bar pressure. Now all of the vehicles here, this one's been waiting. So I've been waiting to do this video, and I've just been a bit too ill to do it. Where are we going? Come on, Scott. No, service requirements. So it is, it's only coming up for the vehicle check actually. So 180 miles, there you go. It's just gone over by a few miles. And it's just the vehicle inspection. It's not actually overdue for anything. It's just due to have an inspection. Now the service history, as you can see, this is just the pre-delivery check. Next one's usually oil and microfilter. There you go. And then this will be probably a brake fluid. Yeah, the first brake fluid is 3 years because the brake fluid is completely new. You know, the whole system's new. After that, they're every 2 years because when you do a brake fluid change, you can't actually get all of the fluid out. So it's now due the engine oil as well. So in fact, we probably did those 180 miles when we picked it up. So it's due to go in for a service, including the oil and anything else. It'll have an inspection on all the brake pads. That will all go into the iDrive. It's all done by a BMW specialist. It will all sit in here. It will also sit on the same platform as BMW on their system, so that they can see it's been serviced as well. So all done with really good quality oils. We don't cheapskate on oils, we use really good quality oils, like I say, and filters are all OEM equivalent. Because, for example, BMW don't make oil filters. They're made by, you know, the likes of Bosch or Marley, German companies that are filter specialists, you know, and that's what they do. So we make sure it's the right filters. Okay, let's bring it over here. So 32878. Now we've got that lovely digital cockpit here, and we can. We're on heads-up display. So if we come up here, you can just make out the speed in the centre there. Now on the steering wheel, I'm going to press the mode button. Going on to FM, AM. Let's get the music collections, the hard drive, DAB. So you can just see that we can flick through all the DAB channels there using the roller button. Now on this display, it will give you your navigation displays as well. Let's just turn this fan down, it's a bit noisy. And all that is done via these buttons here. Then you've got voice. And on this side, we've got the cruise control and the speed limiter. So if I just put speed limiter on, for example, using the roller button on that side, you can, there we go. You can see it in the bottom left there, you can adjust the speed. And then your cruise control, obviously you need to be moving to engage that. So turn that off. Now, we spoke about the adaptive suspension. Now you notice it's got adaptive down here. We've got Eco Pro through to Sport. Now, we were in Comfort there. When you go to Eco Pro, it changes the whole of the display. Just turning that heating down. I think Darius thought I was going to get too cold. Right, we've got Eco Pro, and then you'll see like the charge over on this side. So basically when you come off the throttle, it's charging the battery, so it's using that wasted energy to charge the battery and not charging when you're putting it under power. So it's much more efficient. And also, if we come out of there, when we go over to Eco Pro here, because we have the adaptive suspension, we can configure. Actually, this is the configuration for all the things that you can put into an economy mode. And then, and then down here, so the damping is in Comfort. You can actually put it in Sport in the Eco Pro mode as well, if you prefer to have it stiffer on the suspension. You can adjust the steering, and then you can set it back to standard. We'll put it back into Comfort because I think most people would have it in Comfort. Light and sight. Let's just tap on that one. So what it's doing is it's reducing the heating to the mirrors and the window heating and stuff like that, and basically making it more efficient. Put it back on, you'll see it's gone back up to 90% there. And you can do that for the seat climate, so the seat heating, it just how much it's going to draw from the alternator, basically. So go back into Comfort. So Comfort is basically saying it's a balance setting, like a standard setting, I guess. Now when we go into Sport, we can have Sport displays up on the screen here, and your map. We can go into the Plus mode for extra dynamic settings. Individual, we can, that will stiffen the suspension. Now if we go into Configure, this is where we can have a choice of Sport and Comfort for the damping again, the steering, the engine. I think there's 3 options: Sport Plus, Sport, and Comfort. Oh, that's taking me completely out. Sorry, bear with me. Let's go back in there. Configure. And transmission as well. So this will adjust the gearbox to how the gearbox responds. So effectively, how much it responds to the sensitivity of how hard you put your foot down, I guess. And then if we go back to Sport, we can just have it in the Plus mode. So we've got all those settings for the suspension, etc. just bring you back down to here. So when you've got the gear stick in drive, like so, we put it over to the left. That's now in the sport setting for the gearbox. If you're using the paddles, it goes into manual mode. Now if you're in a sport setting, it will stay in manual mode, so you just need to bring it back over to the right. If you've got it just in a sport mode down here and not on the gearbox, flip it to the left, then back to the right, and it'll put it back into auto. So let's just put it back into park. And while we're down in this area, we've pushed that forward. You can see we've got the USB there. We've got the charging. What did I do with the key? I think it's just here. So we put the key down there. You can see that the lights just come on, and that's now charging the key. In fact, I think there's a holder for the key there by the looks of it, if you want. And that lovely little M-plated badge. We've got heated seats, dual climate control. It's also bright. Let me just shut this roof a little bit. Try and bring. And then we've got electric blinds, so let's just show you that that comes all the way forward. It's just, there's so much light in here. There's too much reflection. Okay, so this is all your shortcut buttons over here. You can also write on the top of here. So let's go to a map. This is all touchscreen, by the way. You can touch the screen. We're in split view, so if we come over to the right, press down, you can choose what you have on this side if you're in the split screen, as you can see. Go right back up to the top, turn it off, and then we've got the full view, and we can zoom in like so. Now over on the left over here, if you just move the dial, move it back, you can see that's your route guidance, spoken instructions, traffic information, map views, interactive. So if you go into map views, this is perspective view we're in. Now using the buttons, the number buttons, you can use those. If you run your finger over them, you can see that they're actually shortcuts. So not just for your radio stations, you can telephone numbers and stuff, but some of the views within the car. So we can change this one and put this in direction looking straight down. We'll put that on number 6. So if I press number 7 now, it'll just change the view without having to go in there. And if you want to put your other half on number 1, you can just set it so that it dials the number directly like a shortcut. This button here shows you some of the safety features, so they're all on at the moment. So this is pedestrian setting, pedestrian awareness, I can't remember what it's called, but it's pedestrian something. Basically, if someone goes to walk out in front, it's sensing all around the car, and it will engage the brakes, I think is the way it works. Now let me just go to configure. So pedestrian alert active. We've also got collision warning, and we can select how early or late that comes on. I would always have it on early. It's always good to know before, way before. So that's a really nice feature. And then, okay, so we've got the media over here. Music collection, like I say, is the hard drive, iPhone. You can mirror, screen mirroring as well. I will check. I can't remember if this one's got the Apple CarPlay, but it's not. It's something that we can have put on the car if it isn't on there. So please ask about that. Right, I'm getting conscious that the video has been running for some time now. Now we've got all the books in there. Oh, let's flip it into reverse. Just wanted to show you that. And with the side parking sensors, you get a much better display around the edge of the car. We've got the self parking there as well, so the car will self park. Obstacle marking. Now this is the other bit we've got. Automatic PD. Right, active PDC emergency intervention. If you're in reverse and someone walks behind the car, it will put the brakes on for you, so you don't run them over. So very handy. And then you can have a sound if the parking space is found. So that's all good. My vehicle is all of the settings in the car on there. I mean, I could spend hours going through all of this, but by all means phone me up. I'm always happy to FaceTime with someone and go through the settings on the car. Before we go, I'm just going to recapture. So we've got M Sport brakes, we've got the display kit. I know what we've got. So we've got this. We've got gesture control. So there's a little camera up here, and by turning your hand, as you can see from the gesture picture up on there, you can turn I'm hoping that's not going to cut my video short because of YouTube, but basically there are gesture. I think there's another setting I'm trying to remember, but basically you wave your arm around or your hand around and it picks it up to go through different screens rather than going into the settings. A little bit gimmicky maybe for some people, but it's on there. Right, let's put it back in park. I'm going to jump out and show you underneath the bonnet. 2 pulls and it'll come straight up. And there we have that beautiful straight 6 engine, twin power turbo. It's a twin scroll turbo. So the cylinders are split to either side of the turbo. It helps the turbo to spin up earlier so you don't get any lag. And these actually kick out 355 brake horsepower. So they're mapped a little bit differently to like a 440i or the M140s that use the same engine. So a bit more power of these. And you've also on this car got an M differential, which gives you better traction when you're pulling away. So worth reading all the spec in the advert, like I say. Because if you're going to buy one of these, you want to get the one that's got all the right goodies on it. All in lovely condition. Okay, so I can see we've hit 37 minutes. So, there was one more thing I wanted to show you, so I will just rush and show you. So I'm going to open this roof up again. Where's the button? So, what I wanted to show, if I grab the key as well. Okay, we'll grab the key. I'm going to turn the vehicle off. So it's in the summer, and you've locked the car up. The mirrors have all folded in. You've left the roof open because you don't want the car to get too hot. And you're sat outside having a bit of lunch, and a big black showery cloud comes over, and it starts to rain, and you're thinking, I've left the roof open. Well, when you get water on that sensor, that roof will automatically close into that position. So it will still vent the heat out, but it'll stop your car from getting wet on the inside. So they thought of everything, but a nice thought, bit of thoughtfulness by BMW. So there we have it. That's our M40i X3. Thanks for being patient. Like I said, I'm full of cold today, so I've struggled a little bit to remember everything, feeling a bit lousy. We've got some fantastic warranty options for these vehicles, and we've got lease purchase, hire purchase, PCP finance, all available. It's on our website, but by all means, give me a call and I'll run through that with you. So thanks for taking the time. I hope the video was helpful. Please give me a call with any questions. Take care. Bye.